In this video, I'm going to share with you how a little bit of planning, flexibility, and good communication is all you really need to create lifelong memories with your friends, even on a budget. Hi, my name is Annie, and I'm the founder and CEO at MiTravel, where we are reimagining the group travel planning experience. Contrary to popular beliefs, traveling does not have to break the bank. Instead, it is absolutely possible to fit your travels into your budget. I'm not talking about only solo traveling, but traveling with a group as well. In fact, traveling with friends can actually help you with your budget, especially when you have companions with whom you can split the bills with. Today, I'm sharing my 5 tips of how you can travel with your friends on a budget and still have a wonderful adventure. Tip number 1, devise a plan. Some love it, some dread it, yet thorough planning is an imperative aspect of any budget-friendly adventure. Without it, you will undoubtedly run into many obstacles and disagreements that could have otherwise easily been avoided. Therefore, as soon as the wanderlust sweeps in, gather your friends and kick off the discussion of your trip as a group. Discuss about everyone's budget, finalize the destination, and communicate each other's non-negotiables. If you're interested in learning about what the key ingredients to planning a successful group vacation is, make sure to watch this video next, where I go more in detail about what I have mentioned earlier and shared my 5 tips of how you can plan an enjoyable group vacation stress-free. As you go into planning mode, I suggest using a tool or system where you can keep all your trip information and ideas in one central space for everyone in your group to easily access. Some tools that you can consider using to help consolidate everything are Google Drive, Notion, and also the MiTravel planning board. But really, planning tours are so essential as they can significantly alleviate trip planning stress that often stems from disorganized documentations, group conflicts, and the need for constant back and forth communication across various platforms. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, emails, you name it, like just so many. And you don't really need that amount of like channels to communicate with your group, right? So find a tool and system that works for you. Tip number 2, avoid peak season. The holiday season is ideal for traveling if you want to severely damage your wallet. It's not a secret with hotels, vendors, tour guides, every single business is doing a price markup during this time. Holidays are the best time for a lot of businesses to recoup their costs for the year. Which is why, if affordability is your goal, group travel would be much more budget friendly if you choose an out of season date for your trip. I know there's a lot of misconceptions where many people believe that off-peak seasons means that there's less fun, fewer options available, but this is so far from the truth in many places. In fact, you will likely get to enjoy everything you would if you were to travel during like hot months, but at a much lower price point. Not to mention, less crowds. If you've been eyeing to take a photo at that iconic Gate of Heavens in Bali, you would definitely want to go during off-peak season or have fun waiting up to 4 hours in line to take your photos. Yeah, off-peak season is. Tip number 3, pack only the essentials. The size of your luggage can significantly increase your travel expenses, especially when traveling with friends, right? Even if you manage to get a good deal and not waste all your money on like airline baggage fees, you still have to think about getting to your accommodation, traveling within and between cities, and such. So not only will your trip be more affordable if you pack lightly, but you and your friends will be more comfortable and flexible as well. Before you close this video though, don't panic and just hear me out. The good news is packing light and smartly is much easier when you are not traveling alone. Though it may require you to do a bit of planning with your friends beforehand, but it's so worth it. Like for instance, one person can bring a hairdryer while someone else can be in charge of toiletries. At least the ones that you can share with one another. When it comes to clothes and personal items, it is important to make sure everyone has options for unpredictable weather, but try not to overload yourself and pack things that aren't too necessarily. Like, do you really need to bring 10 pairs of shoes on a vacation for a 7-day trip? Food for thought. Now, coming up next, I'll be sharing a key benefit of planning and confirming trip activities with your group beforehand. And then I'll introduce to you 2 tools that help me save money as well as have a better gauge of my numbers before I even boarded my flight, allowing me to know where I am in terms of my budgeting and how much room I have left for things like food expenses, souvenirs, and excursion costs. So definitely check out the next part. So stay tuned for that. But first, like this video and comment down below what is one thing that you have done which helped you manage your budget when traveling in a group. This could be with your friends, family, colleagues, or even significant other, right? Like sharing is caring. It's always interesting and super helpful for everyone to see what has and hasn't worked for other travelers. So comment down below. Great, now we're back to it. So tip number 4, book everything in advance. When it comes to traveling, you will almost always manage to save a few bucks if you book things in advance. And there are actually a lot of things which you can book and make reservations for up to 1 year ahead of your trip. Therefore, if you can, always try to book your plane tickets, accommodation, and even museum or gallery tickets well in advance. Not only will this help you save money and get a sense of like what your remaining budget is, but this also makes sure you don't go and lose out on some good deals or potentially even miss the chance for an excursion because tickets have sold out, right? So yeah. And if you're worried about potential changes in terms of trip dates or in changes in scheduling, there are some reservations where it allows for like full cancellation up to a certain period of time. For example, some accommodations actually will allow you to reschedule or cancel up to 3 days before your arrival date and return 100% of your money back. You just need to make sure that this is an option that is available for the specific vendor which you're booking from for your upcoming trip. The 2 tools that I personally use to book my excursions as well as confirm the cost of each to better understand where my remaining budget is before I even board my flight is Get Your Guide for experiences across Europe and Klook for experiences across Asia. All you need to do is type in the destination of where you plan to travel to along with your intended travel dates, and the 2 search engine will curate relevant listings for you, which you can then proceed to filter by categories, interest, price, and so forth. Get Your Guide usually offers free cancellations up to 24 hours in advance to receive a full refund as well as skip the line ticketing options, which I love. Whereas Klook usually provides you a coupon code, if applicable, on the listing itself for you to receive the best discounts possible. Sometimes they also offer special promos with the vendors which you get to utilize just by showing your Klook voucher. Tip number 5, embrace flexibility. Flexibility is crucial if you want to enjoy the beauty of our planet with your friends without breaking the bank. Surely that lavish, all-inclusive vacation is absolutely dreamy, but is that truly something that your whole group wants and can afford for that time? When it comes to group travel, be open and prepare yourself for a good amount of open communication and areas for compromise. Most importantly, don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone. You might end up finding a balance of the best of both worlds between what you want and what your friends want. After all, this is where the fun starts. For example, you might find your group needing to cook a few meals or stay in a hostel in order to funnel extra money into activities. And at the end of the day, what matters most is that you'll be spending time doing it with people you love. And you really can't put a price tag on those kind of experiences. And who knows, you might even end up with some funny stories to tell years from now. And that's a wrap. Traveling with your friends on a budget might seem daunting at first, but all it really takes is some smart planning, a bit of know-how, which you now have, and an adventurous spirit. If you and your travel companions communicate well, respect each other's wishes, needs, and abilities, you will surely start planning your next trip even before you come home from this one. Thanks for tuning in to my second video of the series. If you enjoy our content so far about trip planning and traveling with a group, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to hearing how your next group trip has gone after implementing these 5 suggestions. Bye bye!